Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Growing Up Shy. That's right. Growing Up Shy. We're back, season 2. We're doing it, man. You one of your hosts, Ronnie Ray, the other host,
Khristian Leslie.
Khristian Leslie's out there. The show's about Chicago, y'all. Chicago, the events, the moments, the people, the food places, everything Chicago. If it's Chicago, we're talking about it. So today we're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about, Khristian.
Lori Lightfoot, or I should say the Honorable Lori Lightfoot.
The Honorable Lori Lightfoot. 56th mayor of Chicago. 56 mayors in Chicago?
Yeah.
Damn, it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. More mayors than the United States have presidents.
Yes, you're right. Damn. That's what's up. And they can stay as long as they want to.
Right.
The mayors can run forever. Richard Daley Sr. was the mayor for like 30 years. His son was like the mayor for 20. That's 50 years right there.
Yep. And we still managed to get another 54 years.
Well, Eugene Sawyer did like a year and a half or some shit. Like they
made him, like Verdoli, I told him to get back in there. Like, get back in there.
Man, we talk about Lori Elaine Lightfoot today, man. Born in Ohio, but the mayor of Chicago, Illinois. What are your thoughts?
In a word, unimpressed. I as you know, if you watch the show, I voted for Lori Lightfoot last time. I was all about. I thought she could do it. But I will give her props for COVID. She handled COVID. I thought the way she did that was really great. She's not very inspirational, but she is very intimidating. So she was like, stay in your house. Don't go outside. I think the whole city, like, well, oh my God. Then she sent the police around locking people up for having picnics and shit.
You having a good time outside your house. Did I tell your ass to stay in the house?
We're here because the mayor said that's enough potato salad. You know?
Told you to stay in the house.
Yes. She meant that.
Oh, she wasn't kidding. I remember they like a special report. I'm
Right.
watching Jeopardy. So we are locking down the beaches. We don't need y'all walking. Why this stuff is here. I'm missing Final Jeopardy because she want to lock down the beaches. We saw 2 people walking, and we locking down the beaches. I'm like, so what?
It's enough.
Lori Lightfoot is hardcore. She's the stern parent. She's the mean auntie. You don't want to fuck with Lori.
I mean, if I were judging her strictly on her performance with COVID, then it would be an A+. 100%. But you can't just be the strict parent. You also have to be the parent that the kids like, sometimes. And if people don't like you, as another one of our former federal officials is finding out, if people don't like you, then they won't try to help you get what you want, Right. And I think that's really her problem in other areas, is that, you're not gonna punk the Chicago Police Department into doing what you want. That's not going to happen. And I think as a result of that, crime is up all over the city. Look, I lived in New Orleans a little bit, and there's some parts of downtown that, they look blighted, man. I mean, I've never seen downtown look like that. Have you? I mean, what do you think?
All right, man. When the riots started breaking out after the all this stuff, the Black Lives Matter movement, it just seemed like it was just hell, bro. Because he was locked in, and then they were rioting and shit, and it's like, what? Is this the new thing? You know what I mean? And then everything slowed down, everything stopped. They still went out and did this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm downtown months later, and I'm like, they got the bridges up. And like you can't cross over like it was the Batman Begins and shit. Like you cannot cross. We try to get the looters from not coming over here and just walking in the stores and taking stuff. And I'm like, this is hell now. You know what I mean? You can't talk to people. You gotta do this, and then if you out too long and you mess around and somebody cough on you or whatever the hell, you shake somebody's hand the wrong way, you be sick for 2 weeks at the time before the vaccine hit. It's like, yo, I understand what you're saying. She handled it well. She handled it because that could have been the end. If there was no supervision at all, we'd probably be really fucked in Chicago. Damn, I never even thought about it like that.
And this is where she really, I think because I know she was on the police board, right? She was like president of the police board. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, yep.
And this is where her executive side kind of showed, right? She made decisions, she made them fast, and that was it. There was no wishy-washy, there was no ambiguity. When she passed that ordinance about if they came to your store and you didn't have the right demarcations for the 6 feet in the line, like they made people do that. That's not something stores just did on their own.
Oh wow, right.
They actually made them. She said, look, if we send a police officer, an inspector, anybody comes in there and you don't have something marking where people should stand and it's 6 feet, that's a fine. And then after so many fines, they shut you down. So the I don't care if you were on the north side, west side, south side, where there was nowhere to go. Because I went to like a J&J's over on the south side, and this guy was like standing too close, and the guy behind the counter was like, my man, you got to step back. You got to step back. He was like, what? Here? I got to step back here? He's like, yeah. Yes, you do. You know, because
he's a chicken, man.
Right. He thought because of where we were that no one would care, but she passed those city ordinances and everybody.
The 6 feet law will be stern, except the chicken places.
Liquor stores had that, man. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I'm saying. If she could find a way to get that to translate into managing the police force and you know, helping inspire communities to invest more in their kids and different things like that. But she has not found a way to do that during this term. The only thing I can honestly say, and I give her all kudos for, is handling COVID. If that's all being mayor of Chicago was, she would be great. I'd be voting for her again. But it's not. It's not. Our school system is topsy-turvy. The police are, I don't know what they're doing, but people are getting shot downtown. That's a bad sign.
You're not
that's not a good sign.
You gotta stay downtown. Like, yeah,
exactly.
I'm saying with the looting, that was downtown. They on Michigan Ave, going into Louis Vuitton and a Nike store or whatever the hell's down there, and they just go in there and robbing it.
Dude, they broke in remember they bum rushed Target. like what's in Target that you just have to have?
Everything's in Target. You have that. No.
It's worth 15 to 20. I mean,
one of the funniest moments. I'm sorry, COVID. I'm on Michigan Ave. I'm dropping this lady off. The dude crossing the street, and he was homeless or drunk or something. So as he's walking, this homeless drunk ass walking, he walked to this guy. Like, guy had his mask on. You could see he was like COVID, preventing COVID from him. He walked into that guy, grabbed his mask off his face and threw it at that guy. I'm like, damn! What the fuck? I'm like, what is this? I wasn't, dude just did it and walked on like it was nothing. Like, damn.
That's terrible. That's what makes people afraid of the homeless. And shit like that. That guy probably went home and told his kids, you see a homeless man, this is what they do.
Take your mask off your face. He's still telling that story now. That was a year and a half ago. Who would you rather you wasn't pleased with Lori? Who would you rather, her or Willie Wilson?
I'd rather, I mean, honest to God, she's turned the job into like let's try it and see. For me, like I'd rather try Willie out and see what he can do. Like he can't. I mean, look, if you can do a worse job than this, you deserve some kind of award because. I mean, just look at the city. Look at the state of the. Honestly, I keep going back to downtown, but I'm sorry. When I was growing up, once you got off the red line at Jackson, you were safe. You were safe. You were downtown. You were open.
Yeah, right.
You know, there was a cop or somebody. The most that would happen is somebody might try to pick your pocket. That's it. That's it. No one was trying to shoot you.
Right.
Like that. No. You gotta, hop on state and go down past the, like that's what
you like going north. They still don't go to Evanston. You might be in trouble because they getting down to Evanston too.
Man. But the city is just, for the first time in a long time, it's all the way unsafe. I mean, it's been unsafe in certain neighborhoods, but I mean, downtown, I can't go to the museum. I have to be worried to get shot. That's unacceptable. I'd rather see Willie or who's your boy Chewy. The only problem I have with Chewy is I think his canvassers, because I was in Chicago, I was on my way to a meeting, and these guys were trying to get people to sign a petition outside of the L station. Mm-hmm. And I grabbed one guy. I was like, "Look, man, everybody's trying to go to work or someplace. It's 8:00. We're not up because we want to be up. Everybody's going somewhere. Why don't y'all get on the L and talk to people once they're seated to go downtown? You know what I mean? Wouldn't that make more sense? Like, right. I'm gonna bother you. You rushing to go get the train. I'm gonna try to stop you real quick so you can sign this petition." I'm like, my man, how does that, come on now. So that's my only thing is, that was my only experience with his organization. And, I'm like, that's how your canvassers behave. What would your administration look like? Like
I don't know. I'm afraid of that. I think I'm going to stay where we are. I no disrespect to Mr. Wilson, but Wilson.
Why are you afraid of
Willie? I'm afraid, dog. I'm afraid.
You afraid of Willie?
It's just, I don't know. You don't want to stereotype Willie or nothing, but come on, man. Them damn commercials. Hi, I'm Willie Wilson. I would like to be your mayor. Dude, I don't really, man. I know you got money, bro. Come on, man. I don't know, man. I don't even want to be about. He bought people gas. Yes, but man,
community.
I don't know, man. I don't even want to be that guy, dog. I don't even know why I even asked the question. Because I don't want to answer this shit. Huh?
Man, when you think about it, they're basically like, she's the stern parent, and he's the one that keeps trying to give people stuff.
Oh, he's the fun dad.
Right. She's the one that keeps telling you it's time to go to bed.
Come on, get some gas. Gas and McDonald's.
We don't have to tell her about it. Come on.
Wow. I don't know, man. I don't know. That is crazy.
Hey, I'm ready to try Willie. As a matter of fact, that should be his campaign slogan.
Come on, try me.
Come on, try Willie.
Try you some Willie Wilson.
That could work for him. I mean, if you juxtapose that to her administration, like, look, man, you got rising crime, you got falling standards at school. It's time to try Willie. Like, it's time.
Look at Lightfoot, not knowing what the hell she doing. Try Willie. Willie Wilson, 2024. Man. Yeah.
That could be it.
I don't know, man. I'm scared. I don't know.
You know what I do feel bad for? I feel bad for every black church in Chicago that either one of them is affiliated with, because I went to a pretty big church. I was dating this woman at the time, and it was a church that her parents belonged to. really nice church actually. But a lot of politicians came through. Like, you know how you get to the end of the sermon and you're ready to go because you're a guy and it's over and let's go, right? And even after they would do the 3 fake endings, like, okay, we're gonna leave, and then they come back to. So after all that, here come whoever's running for whatever to talk for another 20 to 30 minutes, and I like every time I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my. Like one time I recognized Tony Perkwinkle. I recognized her when we walked in. I was like, oh, come on. And my girlfriend was like, what's wrong? I'm like, she want to talk after the preacher's done. She didn't just come here for the service.
She's an atheist. She ain't gonna
I'm like, she didn't just come here for this. I've been going to that church for a year. I'm like, I've never seen her before. But if you're watching and you belong to a pretty big church, when you see one of them, just know service is going to be long.
You're going to miss the football game.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Dad, so what do you think going to happen? You think she's going to get voted out?
I mean, Chicago is such a battleground city. It's really, it is, I won't say impossible, but it's incredibly difficult to try and predict an election this far out, you know. It really is, because it's just, I mean, you got 52?
Yeah.
Yeah, 52 different. 56 different wards. I mean, just never know. And everything's diverse. So you don't, you know, I don't think anybody's really gotten a huge number in terms of the percentage of votes in years. I mean, it's all just who gets the highest number of small votes. So she could pull it out. She ran a pretty good campaign last time. I think she needs to come with a big plan. If she's going to win this, she's got to tell people how she's going to inspire them, how she's going to build, you know, more infrastructure, fix those potholes, for crying out loud, you know, fix the small stuff. That's what I think. You fix the small stuff, then the bigger things, yes, keep working up, but it's those small little things, the potholes and the, you know, what's going on with the L, because there's some tracks, man, they look like they need some touching up, you know.
I wouldn't know that.
Huh?
I wouldn't know that.
Driver.
Yeah.
But you know about the roads.
I just knocked on wood. Hopefully, don't be on there long. Yes, the roads.
You know about the roads. You know those
roads.
They
complain about politicians for centuries. So you need to fix the potholes. The potholes are not prepared. Get the potholes fixed. I live right here off Chicago, South Chicago. Mm-hmm. It's a tunnel you go under, man. It's the fastest way to the other side, but you pay the price because every 2 feet it's a pothole. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, shit. But you take the route, because the route is like you turn off the diagonal street, just cut through the viaduct, go right under the damn thing, you're right there.
Yeah, I think if you tackle that, and then also, you know, somebody's got to figure out the affordable housing situation once and for all, and stop just bullshitting and saying that they're working on it and come up with an actual plan.
Right.
They haven't had a real workable plan since they tore down the projects and just dumped a bunch of people in different neighborhoods. And now those people, they're just out there.
That was Daley, right?
Huh?
That was Daley, right?
Started with him, yeah. But I mean, it's an ongoing situation. You know,
man, that's where all the violence really kicked off. It kicked off real hard.
Yeah.
When that happened, because you dropping these guys into these neighborhoods, and they, like, some of them being like one gang, and then a whole nother neighborhood with another gang, and they fighting all the time, they shooting each other. These people ain't never had houses before, and not tripping, but a lot of people don't know how to act. So it's like,
not only do they not know how to act, but like we didn't have a house for a long time, but my grandmother had a house, and we were over there. My great grandmother had a house, and we go over there. So we knew like different things you had to do for the house, you know. Right. And we saw like my grandmother or even my great grandmother would call and say, "Well, I got to get somebody on the roof," and we go, "Why?" And she would explain it to us. And so we grew up around. But when you get people who generationally have never, there's not a house for 2-3 generations, and then you just put them in one. I witnessed that. Like, we had these dudes come out because we moved to Markham, and you know, we were just chilling. And one night there's a knock on the door. My stepdad went to answer it, and I heard him. The guy said, "Hey, who do I call when the basement floods? Who what's the number?" And I looked at my stepdad. He looked at me. He's like, "Be quiet," because I'm like, "What the?" He's like, "Shh, be quiet." He's like, "No, brother, you got to do that yourself." He's like, "What? Let me come over there and I'll help you." And he went over and helped. But the guy was just used to. There's a super. There's a apartment manager. He's like, "I got to pay for it." He's like, "Yeah, unless you can fix it, you got to pay for it yourself." This is, you know, that's owning a house. Right. you know. But again, people don't know, you know. So, and I said this years ago. What we ought to do is put together a program. To me, it's just common sense. If you're gonna put people in homes, why would you not educate them on how to take care of the home? Well, you know, it's a simple program. You grab a couple of this would be a win-win because you get some older people who love gardening or woodworking or whatever, and they could teach it. They could teach it to them. Get old people something to do. Give these people some knowledge. Easy. Everybody's happy.
Makes plenty of sense, bro.
You know?
Might not work, but it makes plenty of sense.
I
ain't about to sit in no class, but give me the keys to my house. That's what they said.
Well, that's the first one that you mark down to go check on.
Nobody washing my dishes. Who washed my dishes right? Never mind. Well, so you said she's the worst mayor in Chicago history out of the 56 mayors of all time?
I'm not saying that because a lot of those 56 were quite racist. So, you'd have to, anybody racist is automatically horrible in my book. So,
we know Jane Byrne wasn't racist.
Huh?
No, Jane Byrne wasn't racist.
She wasn't?
No, living in Pellegrini Green, you gotta have some kind of.
Was it a stunt, man?
Hey, man. In my eyes, she ain't racist. Jane was cool.
I'm not saying she is, but she was. She was a very Republican Democrat. I'll say that.
Leave Jane alone, dog. We got Harold after that.
That's true. That's true. Only for a short period. You know, my mom. I still gotta call her. She's got an original, one of the flags that says Harold Washington on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her because I saw it in the basement last time I was there. Thank God it's still intact. I said, "Man, you gotta put that in plastic. You know, that's a collectible. Like, years from now, that could be, you know, pay for a down payment on one of the kids' houses or something." Shit.
I remember I seen a pen, Harold Washington pen.
Oh,
Harold
wow.
Washington 82 or something like that on it.
I remember she let us stay up to watch the returns. And it was one of the few times we got to stay up late. And she wanted us to see it, you know, to see him call the race for him. That was cool.
Wow. First black mayor, now Lori Marketing. First black woman lesbian.
Yes. Yes. I will say this.
Mean as hell. Yes.
Too much, in my opinion, too much was made of that.
Yes.
And also her appearance. There was look, I tell jokes, we all tell jokes, but in the political spirit, there were too many people talking about how she looked. You don't see there's a lot of dudes that look like What Said Fred, and they were up for office, and their appearance is never mentioned whatsoever. You know.
Said Fred.
but I just think I hope one day we get away from that and we talk more about issues and things that we want instead of just tearing somebody down because they lead a lifestyle that, you know, we may not agree with necessarily. You know, there's a lot of things I don't agree with, but that doesn't mean the person can't do the job.
Right.
You know?
She was at Bud Billiken and like in some construction pants. It's like, what you doing, Lori? Like, come on.
Damn.
It's parade. You shaking kids' hands and shit. Like, you got also construction pants.
Yeah, she doesn't help when I try to defend her and she does stuff like that. It's not helpful, Lori. It's not helpful at all. No, I get it. Be you. Do what you're gonna do. But construction pants. You're just giving it away now. You might as well write the joke for him. I mean,
right.
Come on, work with me. Trying to, even though I don't necessarily like the job that you did, but you're still a decent person and you're a great executive. I will give her that 100%. When she makes a decision, she knows what she wants, and that you are not gonna vary from that. You're gonna do what she said. So I think that's great. It's just we need a little.
You rather Willie.
I'd rather try something. Or you know what? I'll say this: if she can come with a plan, not just COVID, which is what I think she's going to run on, but come with a plan to at least update some of the infrastructure in the city. Come up with a plan to talk to me about how we're going to get these kids back in the classrooms and how we're going to get this police department straightened out once and for all. Well, not once, but at least get us on the right path to get it really straightened out and retrain. I think if she did something radical, like say, look, we're going to look at letting some people with records onto the force. And the reason why is, hear me out.
I'm listening.
My cousin Greg, he would have been a great cop because he did some of that stuff, right? But he wouldn't have been afraid. He wouldn't have just shot somebody because he was scared. You know what I mean? That's what we need. We need cops who, they know the people in the community. They're not afraid just cause, and they can handle themselves. And a lot of these cops out there now, unfortunately, that's not the case. They don't really know the community that they're policing. They're afraid as soon as they have to approach one of these young men because the guys are all bigger than them because they don't work out enough.
No, I'm laughing like this is Police Academy 4.
You know what?
Citizens on patrol.
That's not where I got this idea from.
This is Police Academy 4.
But, I mean, to be honest with you, yes, to a certain extent. We give them some training. And you let them, look, some of the greatest law enforcement personnel in the history of the country started out as criminals. Wyatt Earp, who is lauded as one of the great lawmen of all time, cleaned up the West. He started out a criminal. And that's why he wasn't afraid of those guys.
Yeah.
He started out that way. It does, just because somebody did something now, I'm not talking about a murder or anything like that, but just because somebody got in a fight when they were in high school or college, or they knocked somebody out, or, maybe they were hungry and they broke into a store, those things are bad. Yes, you should not do those. But that doesn't mean that they can't turn things around and become quite effective, because guess what? They know why people are going to turn to those things. They've had that experience.
I would like to be a police officer, but I don't think I'm qualified to have a record. You qualify. We are looking for criminals. This is your luck. Today, when did that start? Today. You are the first guy to come in. They ain't even announced it on TV yet. You just happened to come in.
Did you buy a lotto ticket today?
You're like, you won. What are you talking about? You won the lottery today. Man, first I'm a cop with a criminal record. Now I won a lottery. Let me go stand by this bank and see if they give it out.
Greatest thing ever.
They're not going to do that. That sounds too much like right. It is not going to happen. No, sorry. If it does, a drink on me, bro. Drink on me. All right, man. All right. So, Lori, you think she's not going to do it again?
No, I don't. Unless there's a drastic change or she comes with a radical idea like that, which is pretty radical, but I think that's what we need. We need some radical thinking. I mean, they already started with the CPS. Did you see this? CPS no longer requires a college degree or any kind of teacher certificate or anything like that, because they need teachers. So basically, as long as you have never committed a crime and you can read and write, you could apply, you could have a chance to teach at a CPS school.
That's crazy.
But it's not, though. Think about it.
They need the people. Schools are fucked up.
But some of the best minds of our culture in American history grew up in a time when all these requirements to be a teacher did not exist.
True.
They did not exist. And somehow they learned. Thurgood Marshall learned, and they did not have these requirements when he was a boy. You know?
Okay.
Hey, look, I'm
not going to be a teacher. I don't like kids like that.
No,
I don't give a damn.
I can't see.
You fucking
audience.
Audience,
can you see Ronnie Ray as a teacher?
No. You done killed one of them.
Boy, I said sit down.
It's bad enough. My mom retired and still goes to work. She substitutes. I'm like, why are you going back for this? And then complains about the kids. I'm like, leave them niggas alone.
You call the children niggas. Why?
Hey, no. If you hear the stories, that is the only way you can say that. Like, yeah, leave them little boys alone. No. Are y'all serious? Are you kids serious? And I'm like, she's like, why are you so against it? Because I'm in my 40s. Meaning, their parents went to school with me. And these people wasn't shit. I'm sorry. That's just how I see it. I'm like, I don't want to have to go up there and choke a kid for trying to steal your cell phone. Nah, I'm going to go to work. And she just going to go because she just like to work.
Well, that's good. Staying active. They got to stay active, man.
I understand that, but you start a business, write a book, something. She wrote a book. Like, I'm still going back to. She wrote a book already, and she's still going back to work. I'm done. That's the show. That's it. Lori, wish you well. Stop wearing construction pants and parades.
Okay.
Give me a handle, man. How they find you, man?
Khristian Leslie, Khristianleslie. You type that into any search engine, Bing, Google. I also have my own website, khristianleslie.com, Facebook, Instagram, and that's pretty much it. Ronnie Ray?
Comedian Ronnie Ray on TikTok, IG, YouTube, Facebook. Find me on there. RonnieRayComedian.com. Find me there. High Five Comedy Show every Sunday at Lincoln Lodge, man. 7 o'clock. Logan Square. Come on down, man. Northside. All good. See you guys next time. But before we go, leading with the quote.
If you weren't born in Chicago,
then you
didn't grow up shy.
See you next time. We out.